What's up, guys? Just figured I'd just take a little quick video here with the 56 on the 660 buried. Big Tulip Poplar. I was just milling along and I said, this will look good on video, so let me see if I can get you set up. That's pretty good. All right, enjoy. Just want to show you where that is. That's 56 inches across. Full comp rip chain, filed at 10 degrees. It's a big old tulip poplar. That's a 48-inch mill. It's totally jacked out. So just want to show you kind of what you're watching here as far as how much it's pulling. So I'm going to finish it off. Cool. want to show you the slab that came off before, just so you guys, so I don't get comments, oh, it's probably rotten. Here's a slab that came off just before it. So yeah, Big Tulip Poplar, 660, 99 cc's, 56-inch Forester bar. I really like these Forester bars. I just got it, and I didn't know if I was going to like it, but the rails are all right. Feels a little bit better than the Oregon bar. As you can see, I got a auxiliary oiler that I made, dripping on it. Turn that off. So on the auxiliary oiler here, this one controls feed rate, so I can set it to how I want it to drip. This one's just a straight on and off. And then on top here I have a pressure release, so that I can shut it off, turn it all the way up and shut it off so that it cuts the pressure. This way it's a breather. That's it. 48. Just wanted to show you 660 pulling a 56 full cup, not skip. 5 or 10 degrees. It's Carlton chain. Show you the chain, so I'll get those stupid freaking comments. It's probably a skip. So it's a Carlton chain. Let's see if I can get here. If I can hold still, I don't know. Let me get around the other side. It's a little bit more light over here. So you can see it's full cup. It's 5 to 10 degrees. Nothing crazy. Nothing nuts. So that's it. Hope you guys are having a good day. The reason that I'm using the ladder every pass is when you get out this wide, it's just a little bit more pushing down on your knees and stuff like that with the friction on the wood. I've always just used the wood, but today I decided to try the ladder, and I actually like it a little bit better, so I think I'll do it more often. And a pretty simple setup. It's really flat, so just a couple of these little U-bolts, like pipe clamps, and then I don't know if you can see this or not, but I put in a screw here and then one down in there just up against the rail so that the saw doesn't push the ladder sideways. And other than that, it's steady and flat and works out really good. I don't know if I can get a good view down here, but see how flat it is. Yeah, it looks like it's coming out really nice. So, all right, I'm posting up a video in a couple days, so sorry I didn't show that one from the beginning, but I'm kind of working and I'm actually humping these slabs by myself from here and drag them across the parking lot and put them in the stack over there. Milling them at 10/4, and they're friggin' heavy, so I'm kind of huffing and puffing, and I forget sometimes. So just sitting here listening. Got Pandora on shuffle and milling away. It's a couple more of those 660s. I'm gonna do a video on making these things, but this is the last one I built. This is a crazy hypo one. It's ported all the way from porting, polishing out, then matching the intake horn all the way through a triple port muffler. About 10-degree time in advance is where I finally settled on. It's a good balance between being able to not have your fingers get ripped off every time when you're starting it because of pre-ignition and crazy performance. It's 99 cc's. I actually did these dogs myself. I'm gonna do a video on these saws though. They have Oregon clutch package in them. They have steel chain adjuster. They have steel bar studs. The steel HD filter setup, and if you guys want to go with max flow, that's up to you. But I use the HD setup and I stuff them every couple of slabs. So if you feel okay sucking that shit through your saw, have at it. It's got the Walbro WJ76-1 carb, which is the OEM carb, the biggest one for the 660s. It's a Brazil-only model. It's not legal here in the States. A 56 millimeter jug, ported. Tried some different porting techniques on this one. It's got OEM decomp, OEM trigger, OEM control lever, OEM recoil drum, OEM elastic start, triple port muffler. Kind of banged out a little bit. I left a little bit in there. I didn't do anything on the front, so I get a little bit of back pressure, and the saw kicks ass. I mean, it's nasty. It runs great, starts great. These 660s are the best starting chainsaw I've ever owned in my life, and I've got a lot of them. These things are just the easiest starting saws on the face of the planet. If you try to order kits from Huztl and you get them in, I think they just changed their Zama carbs around. They put an additional little lever on the side of the carburetor so that you get the medium-high half-idle thing for starting. But I've always just put the OEM trigger and the OEM control rod. The OEM control rod on them. And it works great. I get high idle. I can't think of anything else. I got a highway seal kit in them, because if you do order these cases come with the seals installed, you have to rip them out. You got to take the seals out before you put it together, or you're going to wreck one. So take the seals out, put the seals in after you put in the crank and press the case together and get the case sealed up. But this one's same saw, all the same components, but it's not as ported as that saw. That saw's got a lot more porting. This saw is more of a woods port, just matching the gaskets on both sides and polishing. It's got the same WJ76. I mean, it's all the same parts with that saw, except it's not as ported. And same thing with this one. This one's just got, a woods port done on it. Basically all the same. The things I've found that fail on these saws are the bar studs. If I can get down here and kind of point out. All right, mufflers like to come loose, so definitely Loctite them. The bar studs like to strip out. Just go ahead, go down to the steel dealer and order OEM bar studs and save yourself a ton of trouble. Just do it and forget about it. I have not had a clutch fail yet. I thought one was failing, and then I just went to all Oregon clutch packages. But then when I ripped it apart, I found out that there was a bunch of assembly oil and bar and chain oil in there, and that was probably what was making it slip. So I'm not going to say I've had one of these fail. Carbs, I ended up, the first build that I got runs great, and the second build I couldn't get it to idle right, and after that I just went to all Walbros. So they're all Walbro WJ76. You can get them from middies.com. The lady at Middies is awesome. Obviously the OEM decomp valves. Now if you don't do any timing advance, you may be able to pull these things over without decomp, but with timing advance in them, trust me, you're going to need a decomp valve, because if it pre-ignites, it'll rip the pull cord out of your hands. So the OEM decomp valves, the Chinese ones, the tops pop off. I think they've started making them better. As a side note, the only one I've ever had break was an OEM one. This cover right here on 660s is kind of a lousy design. This cover rattles back and forth when the saw is running like this, and I should relieve a little bit of the plastic in there, but they rub on the decomp valve, and I had one shear off. It did it right as I shut off, and didn't wreck anything. I ended up pulling the spark plug out and just dumping the inside HD filter setup. I really didn't have any problem with the Chinese filter. I didn't get anything going through them, but I like having the pre-filter on there, the felt pre-filter to pull off and clean out. And let me tell you, these things after 2 cuts are loaded. So, you know, and as far as horsepower goes, I mean, these things are nasty saws. So if you think you need to put you know, one of those max flow air filters on them to get a little more power, I mean, I'm pulling a fucking 56 full comp filed at 10 degrees sideways through a tree. If you are falling trees and you think that you need more performance than that, I don't know what, you know, maybe you run dull chains or something like that, I don't know. But I mean, it doesn't get any harder in a saw than this. This saw right here is 2 years old. I milled with it all day yesterday on the smaller mill, the 36-inch. This saw is 8 months old, and I've kind of just been saving it just because it's so nasty. I don't use it a whole lot. This one's kind of been my workhorse. It's about a year and a half old, and I just love the way it runs and starts, and I use it 90% of the time, and it still pulls just as hard and rips the pull cord out of my hands just like the day it was built. So doesn't seem to have lost anything. I'll probably go through them all this winter and do a video on what's inside, but I know this was a long video and kind of got off track, but that's what's going on. Hope you guys have a great day.